Mendelson. I am a licensed real estate agent in Florida. I'm also a part of the crypto community. I was one of the first, or the first person to actually do like an ICO or a token release out of Miami. This is in 2017, although technically we did it in Panama. I'm currently the head of business development for 1UP, which is a Miami-based company. We raised $70 million. We started off as an NFT marketplace. Now we're more focused on bringing enterprises, Fortune 100 companies into Web3. So our clients include MasterCard, American Express, Pepsi, and a bunch of other Fortune 100 companies, again, that we're helping bring into this space. On the real estate side, what happened I'm like 70,000 other realtors in Miami. I'm an agent, but I carved a nice little niche out for myself within the crypto community because I am part of the community. I'm not dressed professionally like a real estate agent, but if I am your real estate agent, I will be dressed professionally when I'm negotiating your deals. At the start of COVID, I had several clients come to me who are worth 30, 40, some $50 million of Bitcoin. Like many of you in the room, they're crypto rich, but cash poor. So they went into the banks to try to get a loan, and the banks were like, well, how are you gonna pay your mortgage? And my clients, or my one client was like, well, I'm worth $30 million in crypto, Bitcoin. The banks are like, how are you gonna pay your mortgage? Like, well, I'm worth 30 million in Bitcoin. Well, have you paid your taxes? The guy's like, what? Like, no. You have a job? The guy's like, I haven't had a job in 10 years. I'm worth 30 million in Bitcoin. And the banks are like, well, we're not gonna loan you any money. Had another client in a similar situation, worked around the same amount, went through the same process. So now I have two clients whose net worth in Bitcoin around the start of COVID was about 70 million. Now it's zero. I'm just kidding. It was like 70 million back then. And what's that? So I went into one bank and I was like, you know, I sat down with the lending agent and I was like, you're going to let $70 million in Bitcoin walk out of here because you don't understand it. I said, they're not trying to over leverage their crypto. They're not saying they want a $60 million mortgage, loan of 60 million, 50 million, 40 million. They want like $1 million, $2 million home each, which isn't bad. So if their portfolio value drops 95% tomorrow, they can still afford their mortgage. And they were like, well, hold on. So I had to sit with a few banks, actually one bank, Miami-based bank, through COVID and walk them through this entire process. That bank actually no longer offers the type of loan product that they did for my clients back then. But here's the solution for my crypto-rich individuals. Many of you are probably in this room. There's 4 solutions. I don't make any money off of the financing. I make money by acting as your real estate agent on the buy side, where the seller would pay me my 3% commission. So for those of you who are out of town, don't know how real estate works in Miami, if you're buying property, you don't pay the commission. The seller pays. In other states, I don't think it works that way. So there's 4 ways. So the major way is called a no documentation loan. What that means is the banks will loan you 60, so it's a bank, they'll loan you 80% of the value of the property or the appraised value of the property, loan to value, as long as you have a 680 credit score or better. If you're less than that, you can talk to me, you can work around it. And if you have a pulse, so you have to be alive. You have to have a 680 credit score or better, and 20% essentially seasoned in your bank account to put down that deposit. So let's just say you want to buy a $1 million single family home. By the way, the cheapest single family home in Miami Beach right now is $1 million. That's in Miami Beach. The cheapest single family home is only one, it's $1 million. It's not even that nice. Condos you can get for cheaper than that, you have to put $200,000 down. So how do you do that? Well, you have cash, that's one way. The second way is you sell your Bitcoin. You can decide to do that, or you can leverage your Bitcoin. So obviously, my business was hurt a lot. A lot of people were hurt because of what happened with Celsius and BlockFi and Nexo and FTX, and the list goes on, specifically in the crypto lending space. But there is a company that I actually respect and trust, and some of their executives are located down here in Miami, and that's Avra. So Avra still offers crypto lending products, where if you give them 2 to 1, so let's just say you need $200,000 deposit, you give them $400,000 in Bitcoin, Ether stablecoin, they will immediately, within 24 hours, lend you $200,000, half of what you gave them as collateral. So you can put down for your property. When you pay that loan back with Abra, you get your crypto back at whatever the price of Bitcoin is. So if you give them 2 Bitcoin today, you get 2 Bitcoin back when you pay back the loan. When you do this, when you borrow against your asset, whether that be property or crypto in this case, you don't pay any capital gains tax because you're borrowing it. When you're selling, by the way, this is not financial. Although I am a real estate agent, I am licensed to talk about this. It's not financial advice. When not tax advice. Donald Trump, hate him, love him, whatever. He borrows against one asset, he borrows against his property to buy other property. You're doing the same thing, but your property is digitally. It's Bitcoin, it's Ethereum, it's the other thing. When you do that, you don't pay any capital gains tax. Once you sell your Bitcoin or use it to buy anything, whether that's a banana, property, this hat I have on my head, you're going to be paying anywhere from 15 to 30% capital gains tax if the price of your Bitcoin when you sold it is appreciated from when you bought it. So if you held the Bitcoin for more than a year, 50% capital gains tax. So if you're buying $1 million property and you got Bitcoin at $1 and you're selling the $1 million of Bitcoin, you're paying 1.15 million for that property. That's $1 million. And if you held Bitcoin for less than a year and you have this crazy capital gain, capital appreciation, you're going to be paying 30%. So on that $1 million property, you're going to be paying $1.3 million. So what do my clients do? Again, they borrow against that asset to buy another asset. Hopefully both assets appreciate. Obviously, it doesn't happen all the time. Bitcoin can go down, property values can go down. And what happens is depending on what loan provider you use, well, crypto lender you use, they will do a margin call. So whenever I think there's a 50% margin call, meaning if Bitcoin drops below 50% from what you gave it to them at, they will say, hey, Eric, can you give us more Bitcoin to bring up your loan value of 50%? Otherwise, we have to start selling more Bitcoin to bring that value down to a 50% ratio, 2-to-1 ratio. That's one solution, no doc loan. No doc loan mixed with a crypto collateralized or crypto loan for the down payment. The second solution, a very interesting solution, again, a bank in Miami and New York does this. It's an asset-backed loan. They'll take a look at your crypto portfolio. I found out from them yesterday, it could be any coins, which is fucking nuts. They'll take a look at your crypto portfolio. They'll divide that by 84 months. That will give you your monthly salary. So let's just say you don't work. Many of us don't in the room. I do. But let's just say you don't work, you don't have a W-2 job, and you're going to be trouble with the banks. You're going to have trouble with the bank getting a loan. Take your crypto portfolio value, divide that by 84. That's going to give you your monthly salary. They can qualify you for a loan based on that. That's a higher rate. It's a higher interest rate than the no doc loan. No doc loan is your best option. But there's a second option with this asset-backed loan. Now, if I was your real estate agent and you came to me with Doge token, I would probably tell you, don't over leverage, don't go crazy, because if Doge token goes down in value, how are you going to pay your mortgage? So asset-backed loan is the other way. There's another way. There's a company in Miami called Milo that's highly respected that I recommend. They are the only company in the world that does a full crypto-backed mortgage. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you want to buy $1 million property, you don't give them $2 million in Bitcoin, you give them 1 million in Bitcoin or Ethereum or stablecoin. So it's 1-to-1. They will give you a 30-year mortgage. Unlike the other banks that I mentioned, they take custody of your assets. So they will take custody of your cryptocurrency, your Bitcoin. When you pay back, they'll take a first lien position on your property. The banks don't care about your crypto. They're not taking collateral as crypto. They're just looking at it, qualify you. They're taking obviously a lien position on your property because they're banks or traditional lenders. And Milo will take a first lien position on your property, and they will also custody your crypto until you pay back the loan. Milo, unlike Celsius, BlockFi, Nexel, and all the other scams, they do not rehypothecate that Bitcoin. They only make money off the interest. I think it's 9% right now or something like that. So those are the three ways. The fourth way is you could do a completely crypto-backed loan. So you can go to an AMRA and you can just say, I need a look. Here's 2 million in Bitcoin. Give me $1 million loan. You get the $1 million loan. Take that to buy your property. So again, I'm a licensed real estate agent. I've done over $20 million in transactions the last year. I kind of brag at times, although I don't like to. I am the biggest crypto real estate agent in the world. That's specifically what I focus on. Because of this community, I have become a millionaire. Again, not to brag, but I kind of know what the hell I'm talking about in this space. So if you have a property and you want to sell it, or if you're looking to buy or rent, please consider me, and I appreciate your time. Thank you. And once again.